Imagine one winter you fall over and you break your back. Then you end up in hospital, doing a lot of thinking. But the business that you're working for, do you want to be there anymore? You decide that you're going to break away from that and start your own accountancy firm. And it's so much more than that. After hearing her story, going through all the things that she provides for her different clients, she's so much more than an accountancy firm. Do you want to hear her story? Let's do it. I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. Hi, Faye. Thanks for coming on the show today. Really excited to speak to you.
Thanks for inviting me, John.
Nice. Good. Let's get straight into it. So the question I've got for you is, how did you start? What's your story?
Well, my story. So I have done this for nearly 30 years. I know I don't look like I have done that long. And worked in my last place for 20 years. And always had a wee sort of inkling that one day I'd like to my own practice. But was really involved with clients, etc. I didn't want to leave them. And then I had a major break in my back. I slipped in ice.
Wow.
And for 5 days, it was unknown whether I would walk again. So it was a wee bit life-changing, and all the reasons that kept me in my job just disappeared overnight.
That's
And I
mental. Sorry,
realised
can I stop you? What, you slipped over on ice?
I did. Completely my son's fault. He slipped first, and
Oh,
then I
man.
So he got his nose was bleeding, and I got a broken back. So
Wow.
so yeah, it was, so for 14 weeks I was in a body brace, lying staring at the ceiling, and all of a sudden the fear that stopped me doing this just wasn't there anymore. So maybe that was to do with the morphine, right? So I decided that that's what I would do. I would set up my own practice. My aim was to work a couple of days a week and be a lady of leisure. And it turns out I'm not a lady and I don't do leisure. So I went straight into an office, and that was 3 years ago last week, believe it or not. And it's been the best decision. So people think I'm a bit crazy when I say breaking my back was the best thing that's ever happened to me, but it gave me the push
Yeah.
I needed to not be scared to go and do it. So
Wow.
that is where, so I started off as Clark Accountancy because I have got no creative flair with names, etc. So, but as the team has grown and the business grown, I think the Clark Accountancy gives the impression that it's just me, and it's not just me.
Right.
We've got a great team and we're growing all the time. So I didn't want it to be, all about me.
Yeah.
So we branded last year, and that's why we are Oak Accountancy Solutions Limited. Lots of puns about the joke, the trees and everything. So there's loads of puns there, but the main reason is I just love trees, and the oak tree just signifies a lot to me. Just that small things have or great things come from small beginnings, which is our tagline, which I can never remember. But it's true, because I started off really, really small, and due to the amazing people that I've met along the way and brought with me, we are an amazing wee practice here. So
Yeah.
that's my story. That's where I came from. All my son's fault, and he does take the credit for it all, because he made me fall.
That's mental. So Oak Accountancy, how long have you been running for? Like you said, you had rebranded. Is it 30 years that's been running, but after the
No,
rebrand?
no. It's only been going for 3 years, so
Right.
that all happened 3 years ago. But as I say, I just expected to be myself, working from the house a couple of days a week. So Clark Accountancy sort of fitted that
Got you.
mold. But it's just grown arms and legs, and it's been amazing. So I decided during lockdown I didn't have enough to do with my time, that I would do a rebrand as well. But we were moving office, so it fitted with moving office. You know, it was a fresh start for us all. I did think that was us coming out of lockdown last September. So I thought it's a great start, you know, let's do this. But obviously we're still in lockdown. But so it's been great. It's been really good.
That's so good. So in the last 3 years, what's been a proud moment that you've had at Oak within your business?
Probably moving into the new offices. So we've moved 3 times, we've outgrown 3 times. So we're in amazing offices. And when I put the sign up outside, I did, you know, there was wee tears in my eyes that we'd got to this stage. So during a pandemic, you know, personal things going on, super proud of my son, bringing him up and everything, and I still managed to do this as well.
To do it as well.
But it's not just me that I'm proud of, it's the team and everybody who has helped me. I just have such an amazing network of people, and people want to help people, and it's just, so I was proud on behalf of everybody that's a lot
it's
of work
nice
on.
when you do surround yourself with positive people and a good team. It really can make or break a business, can't it? Like, and it obviously sounds like it's working for yourself with everything that you've got going on.
It is, and I say this, and I always remember this from my clients. Being in business can be really lonely, because you just sometimes need. And clients come to me, and it's maybe nothing to do with accountancy, but sometimes it can be a lonely place to be, and it's just nice to surround yourself with people who, especially during the pandemic, I felt as if a lot of the time our job was just to reassure people that we will be okay, we will get through this, and we will. And sometimes after a long day, I would come off the phone and I just needed somebody to reassure me that my business would be fine too. And it's just having those people that you can give a wee phone to, and you can have a wee laugh and a wee, you know, cheer yourself up. And that's the best thing by far about my job, is the people. The people who I've met are just amazing.
That's so good. So have you been quite busy during the pandemic? Like,
we've been so busy because at no point do people, do all your clients want you at the same time or need you at the same time, but overnight everybody needed us, and I'm super proud that we, you know, got back to everybody, and we supported everybody in whatever way they needed. Some businesses have really thrived and some people haven't, and people were concerned, and it was difficult because people were coming to us looking for answers that we didn't have. This is out with anything we ever trained for. The information coming from HMRC and Scottish Government was slow. Looking back, it wasn't that slow, but at the time, every passing hour felt slow when you couldn't go back to your clients. But we had strategies. We set up a closed Facebook page for our clients, get information out to them quickly, and we've continued that. I spoke to clients and said, you know, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to continue it? Do you not? Because I felt for a wee while it was just me putting up my glass of gin on a Friday night and saying, have a good weekend, guys. And much as they love that, you know, but they've all really bought into it, and there's a lot of work that's passed between our client base to each other, and a lot of information that gets passed about as well. So we've really started to build on that. We do a Monday spotlight where we spotlight one of our clients and what they do. Today we've done a lovely one, and I really enjoy these ones. We've got a client who's opened their doors for the first time today. So we love doing things like that, and it's a wee community, because again, I'm aware a lot of these people are one person director companies, and it's just good for them to see what other people are doing, and you know, it's good wee networking, because a lot of people don't have time to go to networking things. So this is a wee network for them.
Wow. So you're so Oak Accountancy is so much more than just, I mean, when you think an accountant, you just think you take your books there, you get, you get stuff done. It sounds like your company is so much more than that. It sounds like you really are a community
Yeah.
networking based thing.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to achieve, because everybody's got something to learn from somebody. So,
Yeah.
and you know, a new person comes through the door and it's their dream. I never forget that this is their dream,
Yeah.
because Oak Accountancy is my dream and I'm living it. So I love that. But also when somebody comes through the doors that's established, I just want to learn from them as well, because everybody's got a story. They didn't wake up established overnight. So it's much more than just the figures. Obviously they're real important, that's what we do. However, if I can help my clients grow, then by default I'm doing my job.
Absolutely.
And that's just fundamental, and it's something that we do. We put on events for clients, which, you know, sometimes there's a wee sort of alcohol theme to them, you know. But we put on events, again, just from a social networking, getting out there, speaking to other people who are in business, going through the same challenges that you're going through, that you're facing.
Yeah.
So we're keen to get them back. They don't work quite as well on Zoom, but we're keen to get them started again. So yeah, when you come on board with Oak Accountancy, you get everything.
Yeah. So much
Um,
more.
yeah, absolutely. Because if I can do something to help somebody, then that's half the battle.
Absolutely. So what's
Yeah.
one of the common questions, I mean, getting through the pandemic? Like what's been something that's really stood out?
I think a lot of people are now looking at how they can sort of grow their business on a digital platform. So that's been really something that a lot of people have been looking at, the marketing strategies. A lot of business owners are being so busy doing the whole day-to-day working in their business, that when the lockdown happened, they got a break for the first time in goodness knows how long. And just like my back breaking gave me the time to reassess my life, lockdown gave a lot of business owners time to assess and all the wee things that could improve their business that they did not have time prior to it, they've now looked at. So a lot of businesses have streamlined their stuff. They've looked at, they've questioned their business. They've questioned, is this the best way for me to do this? Is it the cheapest way for me to do it? Is it the most tax efficient way to do it? So there's been loads and loads of, you know, we've had to stop as a society. We've had to stop. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Could we do it better? And I would definitely that, and obviously the majority of the questions are what support's out there for us, and ways of funding, etc. So very early on in the lockdown, I was lucky to be invited along to Lanarkshire Business Recovery Group, which we were a focus group who were going between local businesses and Scottish Government, and sort of putting some of the questions that business owners were having, the challenges that they were facing. We got to put that into Scottish Government, and also Scottish Government come back to us and local authorities with some plans for funding, etc. So that was really interesting to have a wee insight and be able to be a voice for my clients. So that was really good, and I think a lot of clients got a lot from that, because I could feed back
Yeah.
things otherwise I maybe couldn't feed back. So
Yeah,
that was
absolutely. So do you find, so you've got, I noticed also you use Zero Accountancy. Is that your main platform for everything?
no, we use all of them. We use Zero, Sage, QuickBooks,
Right.
and the one that I would say we use the majority of is Free Agent.
Right.
And that is a very good, because before the pandemic, we were going through a Making Tax Digital, where VAT registered businesses with turnover over 85,000 had to use a compatible software.
Right.
And RBS own Free Agent. So if you've got an RBS bank account, it sounds like I'm plugging it here. If you've got an RBS business account, you get it free. So a lot of
Wow.
clients have bought into the Free Agent. So I would say the majority of our clients actually use Free Agent, but we use all ones. We do run some free agent training courses. Specifically, we get the guys from free agent out to do it with clients, and we're going through the next development of making tax digital, where the next lot of people are going to come in. So over the next 3 years, property owners, etc., are going to have to use a software. So it's a
Right.
really, really good software for people who have never used software. It's built for end users, whereas the other softwares are built for accountants. So I
Right.
think that's why the ease of use of it is what sells it.
So free
And
agent, sorry, I was just going to
yeah,
say, so free agent, is that an app that you could use? And so could you, you know how like there's some of them, some of the programs that you can get, you could like say take a photo of a receipt and it would go in there. Does it do all of those things?
yeah, it does all that. So you can use it on the desktop, or you can use, there's an app on your phone, and you can take the pictures and everything. It keeps you up to date with your taxes so that there's no big surprises. And it was really, really useful during the pandemic, because when clients were contacting me saying, I need to do a business recovery, I need to know what my taxes are. See, when they've got a wee shoebox of receipts sitting in their house and they can't travel to us, I can't do anything.
Of course.
Whereas we see the live data, so anybody using the software, especially when they had to do grants and they had to do business plans, etc., we were able to help. Whereas the people who have got it in their wee shoebox, we were, that was a wee bit more challenging to get round it. But my WhatsApp was going crazy with people taking pictures of all the receipts and everything.
Get like 400 photos of
Yeah.
different receipts.
I've never felt so popular in my life, but but yeah, and now a lot of that there's been a wee stumbling block. A lot of people, quite like their wee boxy receipts or whatever, but now they're sort of using software now,
Yeah,
and
forced to
that's the
use
way
it
that
really.
we're going down. So it's all about, when I speak to somebody for the first time, it's all about matching them with the right software, because they've got to be engaged in it, or it doesn't work for them and it becomes a headache, and that's the
Yeah.
last thing anybody wants.
So I guess that would make your job a lot easier as well. Like you said, you're getting that live. Whereas if I come into the year, at the end of the year, just hand you a big shoebox worth of stuff, it's just more time that you would have to spend, that you would have to charge me, right?
Yep, absolutely. So there's the time factor, but also there's the horses bolted factor, and I can't do any tax planning for you if I don't know what your figures say.
Right.
So by the time you've given me them, we've lost the window of, say, making pension contributions to reduce your tax bill. That's gone. Whereas when we can see live data, we check it and we say, oh, you've got a really good year, let's have a wee look at what we can do with this, or vice versa. And obviously a lot of people started to remortgage back last year in lockdown, and again we had to provide information to the mortgage lenders, so it makes it so much easier if we've just got the information there, that we can do more things rather than paying us to do something. There's a software out there will do for you.
Then I'll do it. Is it quite expensive or?
Well, free agent with our, we get an accountant's discount, and I just pass it on to my clients. So if you're an RBS business customer, you get it for nothing. It's part of your business banking. So you don't pay, for free agent through our license, it's £10.50 plus VAT per month.
Oh, that's quite good.
Sage ranges from £9 to £18 plus VAT per month. Zero is, I think at the moment, £24 plus VAT.
Right.
And QuickBooks is round about the same, as Zero. So you won't pay more than £30 a month unless you're, really needing a sort of super duper
Yeah.
version. But the majority of small businesses can get away with that. So you won't
Use
pay more
that.
than 30. So
Yeah.
it's a good wee range, but obviously a lot of people do like to be RBS business customers and get it for nothing.
Yeah,
And it's a
absolutely.
good option that I can give people, because when people are setting up in business, there's more money going out than coming in. So to come here and leave thinking, well, I've got a software, that it's not costing me, that's quite good as well.
Absolutely. Everybody loves something that's free as well. I'll
Absolutely.
definitely be looking into that because I'm RBS. So yeah, for sure. You mentioned before about Facebook. You had a closed Facebook group to get information out to your clients. Is that your main platform that you use? Do you use Instagram? Do you use any other platforms or?
I don't use Instagram, although my son keeps telling me I should be using Instagram and Twitter, which I don't do. LinkedIn is a bit, you know, whenever I think about it. So Facebook, I'm at that age where all these things are, but Ailey, who works for us, she's in charge of social media and she is going to start to put more details out there. But Facebook's definitely something that I feel comfortable with. But I do realise we do need to move with the times and get stuff out there. But I've been so lucky in that I haven't had to do that to bring work in. So I think that's made me a wee bit lazy, and that, you know, I'm not having to do it as a marketing tool. But it's something that's in our roadmap of things that Ailey's going to take charge of. Apparently, I just need to get our passcodes for things, which I will do.
Yeah, we all struggle with that. So in regards to someone starting up their own business, and what is some advice that you would give to someone first starting out? What should they do?
Be brave, believe in yourself, and get yourself surrounded with as many people as you can. You cannot surround yourself enough with people. Get yourself a lot of clients come to me and say, I'm not quite started yet, so I don't think I need an accountant. That's when you do need us, because you need to get it set up properly. So do not let cost put you off, because you'll be surprised. Initial consultation's free, so when we give you information as to how we think you should set it all up, that's yours to take away with you. And it's easier for us to do that than it is to fix mistakes further down the line, and it can be really costly for you. So surround yourself. Never stop asking questions. Always ask people what they're doing, whether they're in the same line of business as you or not. Just constantly ask questions. Look out for good networking groups. There's an excellent networking group, Lanarkshire Business Hub. That was one of the ones that I started with. It's free. It's run by New College Lanarkshire. Their speakers are amazing, and they're always really well attended. I've never come away and not met somebody whose story fascinates me. So get out there, get networking, and surround yourself with good people who will have your back. And so yeah, and be brave, because it is a scary thing, and I do, but it's also so exciting as well, and it just opens. And the other thing that I would say I do, as you will know, is never say no to anything. So when you're outside your comfort zone and somebody asks you to do something, go for it, because you just do not know how many doors things will open, and it's exciting. But definitely key thing, surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. It does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
We've just recently moved into this hub. It's called the Hive, obviously, but it's in Hamilton. But I've surrounded myself with positive people as well. You know, gym people are normally, by default, they're quite enthusiastic. We've got some really nice people around here, PTs and things like that. But the energy that comes off of them, even if you're having a bit of a rubbish day, can just boost you up and take you up and bring you back up where you need to be to get the job done.
100%. And one of the other things is never be afraid to ask for help. As a person, I don't tend to put my hand up and say I'm struggling, I need a wee bit of a hand, but I'm the first person to offer help. So I have learned over the last 3 years that I am not Superwoman. I cannot do it all myself. I don't know it all. So that was a huge personal challenge for me, was to put my hand up and say, do you know what? could you give me a hand with something? And nobody has slammed the door in my face. Nobody has not helped me. Although I think I might have been running out of favours by now. Especially when I'm moving house for the second time this month. I think I've definitely run out of favours.
You pushed your luck.
Like, yeah,
Absolutely.
you got over that whole fear of asking for help well.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's so true what you say with that. My nan, I remember years and years ago, I think it was like 5 or 6, and she always said to me, "You'll get a piece and jam at anyone's door." And that, it's weird, like that has always stayed with me, and it's always made me never fear to ask for help, to ask for information, to put my hand up first, to do things like that. So yeah, that thanks Nan for giving me that piece of
Yeah.
information. Absolutely, it's
To put
encouraged
you
me.
in a good road.
Absolutely.
I do think as well, people just naturally, people want to help people as well,
Yeah.
and that's what's been really has every day brought to my attention is people want to help people,
Yeah.
and it's just acknowledging that and repaying the favour when you can, and yeah,
Yeah.
people are good.
It's,
There's
it's
more
more
good
more
in
in
the world
giving.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
More in giving than what there is in receiving, right? That's really good. I really appreciate you taking the time today to speak to us,
Okay.
Faye. You've
Well,
definitely
thanks
got
very much
heaps of
for having me.
information there, and I'd love to have you back on the show again, and especially with lots of different questions that I have, and little tips and tricks in regards to tax, and definitely with business startups and things like that. So if you'd like to come back on, that would be great.
Absolutely, I'd be delighted. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for watching today. Make sure you like and subscribe our channel, and we look forward to seeing you next week when we interview our next person. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks, Faye.
No, thank you.